me to come.
Sorry, I
Oh,
just want to record you
okay.
because you are so awesome.
Oh, no. Okay, so I'm going to put got it. Okay. Yeah, Andrea asked me to come on and talk about the records when you call through the TM system so that everyone can know how to fill it out properly. And so briefly, I'll just talk about that. And then I have 2 tips and 2 words of advice. So, okay, so I'm going to share my screen here. Okay, wait. All right. Okay. Okay, I've put up a record. Can everybody see it?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, all right. Well, basically, you probably know this already, but the top part you save by pressing the word save. The bottom part you save by pressing the word add note. There won't be a lot that you put on the top part, except that when you are talking to a receptionist, it's really helpful to say at the end, is she the only owner? And then you can put only owner in the comments so that the next person that calls can know that that is the owner, because we only want to speak with owners. On the bottom part, I'm having trouble finding my little scrolling thing because all your pictures are there. But anyway, at the bottom part, you see the abbreviations, and most of your notes will be on call back. Things like GVM for general voicemail and not in and not available and all of that. And then there's left message on voicemail. There's also left message, and I use that when I leave messages for a receptionist. When I leave messages with a receptionist. Now, the wrong information, that's for things like when the number is not in service or the company is closed, it's no longer there. And I prefer that nobody use that for anything else, because those get purged once a year and we don't want any records to get purged. So that's basically it. So my couple of words of advice are that you can do follow-up calls with the system. If down here, and I can't seem to scroll, but oh, here we go. Now, let's say this record had a not interested in the past. So what you can do is you can call, and instead of launching into hopefully your short regular script that you've come up with, you'll be able to say, back in December of 2020, you spoke to Manisha Rebello in our firm and said that you were not ready to sell your business. And I would like to know if you are currently considering selling your business. I get a lot of leads this way because this warms up a call, and that they know that somebody has spoken with them before. So that is really helpful. You can do the same thing if it says INT, interested. And if it's over a year old, especially if it's several years old, because unfortunately, several years ago, a lot of the agents didn't even call. And so you can call and say, you spoke with so-and-so in 2017, and they were going to have XYZ agent give you a call, and I'm wondering if they ever called you. And sometimes they'll say no, or they'll say, I don't remember that. And then you can say, well, wanted to check with you to see if perhaps you have considered selling your business. And that's also very successful because they feel that they've said yes before, they may still be interested, and now they know that somebody will call them. So those are a couple of tips about the follow-up calls. Now, I wanted to talk about when owners say no, there's more than one kind of no. And one kind of no to pay attention to is when they say no, not right now. If they say that, then don't just hang up. Say, well, when you say it like that, is it something that perhaps you may be interested in, let's say between now and the next 12 months from now? And very often they will say yes, because sometimes when I call, they think an agent will call them tomorrow and they'll be done tomorrow. And they're way too busy for that. And so when they know that they want to sell the business in the next year, and that's acceptable with us, then that also is very successful. And then my couple words of advice. My main advice is to keep following up, because even though many owners have cold feet, in fact, cold feet is the most common condition physically that we come up with an owner. I mean, they said yes to me, or they'll say yes to you, but the next time you talk to them, they want to pull back. And sometimes, again, it's because they think you mean tomorrow. And so, but keep following up. I am very involved with doing Ian's biz besides calling for the agents. And there have been times that I've called once a year people that for like 10 or 11 years. And then they finally say, well, yes, I'm interested. So it's really worth to follow up. And yeah.
Yeah,
And then
I might add
yeah.
that, Julie mentioned she's done a lot of calling for me, and many of the leads that get turned over to me originated with somebody else some time ago, but they did not follow up. They didn't keep in touch. You can see in this one here that there was Tony Moran in 2021, Connie Kelly, way back in, of course, she's no longer with us, but way back in 2015. And for this particular client, who's a CPA, we built up a long history. There's no question about establishing our longevity with that client.
Yeah.
So,
And that's one of the advantages of this system, because you can go back in time and see what has happened, where you can't do that in a cold call you just are doing from a list. So I really think this calling from the TM is really valuable. And the only other thing I would want to say is that the bottom line of what we do is that every owner was created by God, and they all deserve our respect. And that makes a big difference. Sometimes I talk to owners that, well, I mean, if they're offensive, that's one thing, but sometimes they're just not very nice. And sometimes I sort of respect them and nice them into talking. And at the end, especially if they're interested, they will say, oh, thank you so much for calling. So that is kind of the bottom line, I would say, of what we do, is that we want to respect everyone that we talk to. And that's all I have. So thank you so much.
Thank you, Julie.
Thank you,
Really
Julie.
appreciate it.
Yeah.
Anyone have
there's
questions for Julie? I'm sorry, Ian. Go ahead.
There's a little story to tell, how we're actually doing service to the client. This particular story doesn't look like it's going to end well, but Julie sent me a note to call somebody, and I called yesterday the cell phone, and it was answered by the person's brother. And so I asked what happened, and he said he's in hospice. The seller is in hospice, terminally ill. And so we've been calling him for a long time, but like Julie said, some people have their cold feet, and it sounds like literally his feet are going to be very cold in another few months, 6 feet under. But we tried. We've been calling him for a long time. He kept putting us off, and so Julie is doing a service for the universe of business owners out there who need a little pushing and shoving, or warming of their cold feet anyway.
Yeah.
So thank you. Thank you very much, Julie. Yeah.
Thank you, Julie.
Thank you.
Thank you, Julie.
Thanks.
Anything for Julie, everyone? Any questions? No, I guess everything is very clear. And
I just
you
want to say, Julie, you sound so nice. I'm sure
I
you're
know.
the nicest telemarketer that calls. So I don't blame them for not wanting to talk to you.
I know. We
Thank
did
you.
a few previews before today. And every time I hang up, I was like so relaxed after talking to Julie. I'm like, okay, wake up, wake up.
Okay. Well, thank you.
Thank you, Julie.
Thank
Really,
you,
we
Julie.
appreciate your time and your calls and everything that you do for us.
Well, thank you. Okay.
Thanks,
Well,
Julie. Nice to see you.
Julie out,
Yeah.
if I
Julie
can
out.
get out.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay. No, I'll get you. Don't worry. Thank you.
Thanks.
Okay. So, everybody, hopefully you guys did your business plans and your team leaders have them on, right? Of course. Yes. Who's saying no? Need to go and do it now. And training.
Yes.
Yes.
I wanted to mention that I wanted to mention that Julie's going to be attending the training too, and do another little show and tell session for those of us who are at the training. So I'm going to be sending out a summary of an article I read in the Wall Street Journal a few days ago about New Year's resolutions. Does everybody do a series of New Year's resolutions? No?
I do goals.
Yes. Well, that's essentially the same thing. But this article is a full-page article about some social scientists that have studied the effect of New Year's resolutions, and I think you'll find it very interesting. But the bottom line is that they do help. And there's some tricks to making it work better. So when you're putting your plan together, you need to make sure you have specifics. It's things like, well, I want to list 10 businesses this year. That's not really a plan. You need to detail how you're going to get those 10 listings or 10 offers or whatever part of your plan you're coordinating. So that's my tip for today is your plan should include some specifics, and this article I'll send you, or summary of it, will give you some reasons for actually making resolutions that are part of your plan, and you're more likely to have success in your plan than without. I'll get that out to you this afternoon.
Thank you. Yeah, I would love
That's
to read
all.
that one.
Yeah.
Okay. Training, everybody knows. I already sent your list and everybody's been putting their meals. Yen is saying that we're gonna be eating a lot. So you guys see that out.
Well, I saw that. I
Mine.
saw in your menu there, you had about 14 entrees.
And you know what? Linda Lou have the same one, except for the San Pellegrino. But we have the same meal, Linda.
I copied yours.
Ian, what's
We
the
have
plan
good
for
taste.
those of us who won't be able to physically attend?
There's no particular plan.
No particular plan? Okay.
Currently, it's not being hosted or streamed. So.
Actually, I was talking about the plan to feed us lunch, but well, okay.
Oh, you're on your own for
Oh.
lunch. You can brown bag it.
Will the training be recorded?
You know, we can record it, but I find that it's not very useful to people after the fact.
Yeah.
Because it's not you're not participating. You're just listening to a bunch of people talk in a room.
Yeah.
I don't know how much people can get from that. So
Yeah.
Although that it is better than nothing.
it's better just to attend.
Yeah. And you're coming, Ted. So
Oh, your lips to God's ears.
So you're going to have a
coming.
schedule of how many people are attending. That's a
Well,
sardine can. It's standing room only, probably.
So
In their
far,
world,
we
it's not
have
like-
13 people only.
It'll be fine.
Yeah. You live last time.
Get to know your neighbors.
Yeah.
I mean, and during the training, you shouldn't be having your laptops out for space for the laptops and all that other stuff. You're supposed to be listening and participating. So, if we don't need the table space, there's no reason just to sit in a chair.
Yeah.
That's the real limiting factor, is everybody wants to get their laptops out.
Yeah,
and it just
exactly.
can't
That's true.
Yeah. But then you
I-
don't know who's actually listening and who's working on the sly. during-
something else, yeah.
Yeah, this, as I think I mentioned earlier, this is going to be more of a live format than a classroom.
So
And,
very participation is
we're going to do-
encouraged.
That's good.
We're going to do a lot of, we're going to require participation. It's not just going to be encouraged. We're going to point fingers.
Good.
And,
So Tony and
so-
Michael won't take a nap, huh?
So nobody will feel,
Yeah.
left out.
Well, there are some folks like Tony who get a great kick out of being stage center, but there are others that are a little timid. But you can see by the end of the day, we want you to all be as good as Julie
Yeah.
in
that's
terms of telemarketing or just plain marketing, getting listings.
What does the training cover? Is it part 1 and part 2 together or what?
It's a new
revamp
thing.
training.
Yeah.
It's a
whole new
revamp
thing.
training.
We're spending very little time on the mechanics of filling out forms. That's something that can be done offline, individually. So we don't want to waste too much time on that.
Do
Be
a
some
sales
role playing.
training, Sales
Yeah.
and negotiation.
Right. People skills.
Precisely. Yep.
Sounds good.
Okay, well, thank you.
Yeah, thank you, everyone. But before you guys
Thanks,
go,
Andrea.
if Julie is coming back, it's anyone driving this way, she may want to get a ride with you guys, or you guys may do carpool. Quite a few of you guys from San Jose.
Where
So
she lives?
in
San
San
Jose.
Jose.
No.
Yeah,
live in
it's far
Delhi
away
too,
from
so-
you. I know. But just kind of think about it and double check with her. I mean, I'm pretty sure it'll be nice to drive with somebody else. It's easier.
Also, that week of training, I may or may not be around. It depends on if the government needs me. So
Yeah.
just keep that in mind. I have jury duty that week, so just kind of keep that in mind. I won't know. I'll know the night before,
Yeah.
but I won't
Yeah,
know.
I know. My son have this week and yesterday he didn't have to go, and today he texted and he haven't get any answers. So still, yeah.
Here you do it after 5 o'clock for the following day. So
Hopefully you'll be good. You'll be good. Okay. Well, thank you, everyone. I will send everything. I will get the info from Michael. That one is pretty nice and cool little thing, little gadget that you guys can use and start going with things and make it easier. Yeah. Okay,
everybody
so,
have a good afternoon. Don't forget your
Okay.
business plans.
Thank
Thank you, Andrea.
Stay dry. Thank you, guys. Thank you, everyone. Take care.